Hey Leute, ich grüße euch. Hier ist Andreas. Ja, und heute ist es soweit. Heute findet meine Zeremonie statt und ich befinde mich gerade vor dem Gebäude. Und ich dachte, ich zeige euch mal die Location und ja, zeige euch mal, wo das alles stattfinden wird. Ich habe auch entschieden, dass ich die Zeremonie selbst nicht filmen werde. Zum einen, weil ich mich vollkommen auf den Prozess konzentrieren möchte, der da stattfindet und mich nicht ablenken möchte mit irgendwelchen Kameras oder sowas oder mit der Technik. Und zum anderen gibt es da auch gar nicht viel zu filmen. Ja, wir werden, wie gesagt, die ganze Zeit eigentlich nur rumliegen und unsere innere Reise haben. Und diese kann man leider nicht auf Video festhalten. Das kann man nur später halt im Erfahrungsbericht verdeutlichen, zeigen. Ja. Aber nichtsdestotrotz zeige ich euch, wie es hier aussieht. Das ist der Eingang. Hier ist der Haupteingang von Om-Mij. Om-Mij oder Om-Mij, ich weiß nicht genau, wie das ausgesprochen wird. Ich werde das später noch in Erfahrung bringen bei dem Interview. Ja, wenn man reinkommt, dann hat man rechts den großen Zeremonieraum. Hier werden die Zeremonien durchgeführt von 6 Personen bis 9 Personen aufwärts. Ja, dann werden hier dementsprechend auch die Matratzen so ausgelegt, je nachdem, wie viele Personen dann teilnehmen an der Zeremonie. Natürlich wird ja noch alles stimmungsvoll beleuchtet und in jeder Ecke sitzt auch ein Begleiter. Von daher ist man hier auf der sicheren Seite. So, der nächste Raum. Hier werden normalerweise die Einzelzeremonien durchgeführt. Also hier hatte ich meine 3. Einzelzeremonie, ne, die 4. glaube ich, genau. Ich kann ja mal ein Foto einblenden, wie das da aussah. Genau, aber unsere Zeremonie, die wird woanders stattfinden. Ja, weiter geht's. Das ist der Flur. Sehr schöne Muster. Mit Ayahuasca. So, hier rechts haben wir hier eine Toilette und eine Dusche. Das ist dann für diejenigen, die halt aus dieser Zeremonie rauskommen, beziehungsweise die könnt ihr dann hier aufsuchen. Hier befinden sich private Küche und die privaten Gemächer quasi der Zeremonieleiter. Da gehen wir jetzt nicht rein. Hier ist der gemeinsame Aufenthaltsraum. Hier werden wir unsere Zeremonie haben. Das ist der Andreas, mein Zeremoniebegleiter für heute.
Attacke.
Attacke. Wir sind alle schon gespannt wie Regenschirme.
Der war gut.
Der war gut, ne? Das ist Shorandi, das ist unser Zeremonieleiter für heute.
Hallo.
Ein sehr guter Mann. Das ist deren private Küche. Hier wird die Magie stattfinden heute. Hier wird natürlich noch alles sehr schön in Szene gesetzt, mit Kerzen und ja, mit Musik. Dann gehen wir mal da hinten rein, genau. Weil man hat ja auch die Gelegenheit, mehrere Zeremonien hintereinander zu machen oder auch über Nacht zu bleiben. Und wenn das der Fall ist, dann kann man sich ja hier auch niederlegen. Gibt es dann auch Schlafräume. Eine Dusche, Waschbecken, Toilette und dann geht es wieder in die Zeremonie rein. Ja, das war es soweit von hier. Wie gesagt, ich melde mich dann nach der Zeremonie, sobald ich kann, spätestens dann zum Interview und ich bin gespannt, was ich heute erleben darf. In diesem Sinne, bis später. Nochmal ich. Bevor es in die Zeremonie geht, wird eigentlich immer so eine Einleitung gebracht, also von dem Zeremonieleiter, wo er erklärt, was Ayahuasca ist, ne, was man so erwarten kann, wie sich das ausdrücken kann. Und ich dachte, ich werde das mal jetzt filmen, weil der Shorandi, der kann das sehr gut erklären. Und ja, viel Spaß bei diesem kleinen Meeting bei der Einleitung. Und ja, wir sehen uns dann später beim Interview. Bis später.
So the ayahuasca is always made out of 2 separate plants, and they both have a different substance that works. The first plant contains a MAO inhibitor and the other plant contains DMT. and they're both in your own system. So the MAO enzymes are in your liver, and the DMT gets produced by the pineal gland. And what the ayahuasca does, normally when you drink DMT, the liver will break it down. Now, because of the first plant with the MAO inhibitor, the enzymes that are in the liver that normally would break down the DMT when you drink it, they get filled. So they will not break down the DMT for a moment, so the DMT can pass the liver and then be absorbed by the body, and that will create experience. Mm-hmm. So that's a little bit how the plant medicine works. And the experience is a very broad, big experience. So before the ceremony, I always explain a little bit in what kind of directions it can go. So when you are in your journey, you are still conscious in a way that you can say, oh yeah, Shrani told me this is part of the journey. This is okay for now. Yeah. Because probably things will happen in the ceremony that you are not used to. And also where the ego can say, oh, this is not good, now you did something wrong. Don't worry about it, because the ego is always there and does not like to let go of the control. He always wants to be in control, and the ayahuasca can really pull away the ego from you and show you really what's up. And then the ego loses that control of you, and it doesn't like that. Mm-hmm. So that can also be a part of that. So first of all, behind the plant medicine is a female energy. We call her Mother Ayahuasca, and she is always there to guide you on your journey. Some people call her Mother Earth or Gaia, and it's okay whatever you call her, but it's a female energy that you are going to come in contact with. And she can communicate on various levels with you. So I'm gonna name a few. I cannot name all because it's too big, but a few directions that it can go. And one of them is that your senses will be altered for a little while. So it can be that your hearing, your smelling, your touch, the seeing, those things that you normally experience your senses with can be altered, can be stronger, can be smaller, but can be different. It can be that when you drink the ayahuasca, you will feel from the inside maybe a temperature change. So it can be that the temperature, you get a little bit warmer, or opposite, that you can get it colder, and it will be from the inside. So I can have an extra blanket for you or a bottle of warm water when you're cold, but when the cold is really from inside, so I can put 10 blankets on you and 10 bottles of water, you will probably still feel cold, but it's normal. Temperature change happens, and also the heart rate can go up a little bit, but it can also slow down a little bit. Can be that you're very sensitive, so that you feel a tingling sensation all over your body, or that you feel the blood flowing through your veins, that you feel maybe your body is a little bit bigger than normal, or smaller. Some people experience that they lay next to their body, or floating above their body, so they can get an out-of-body experience. Can be when you look at yourself or when you touch yourself during the ceremony, that everything will feel different. Can be that when you look at your fingers, that your fingers will be very long, or that you see all kind of patterns on your body or on your fingers. Maybe when you touch the blanket or the mattress, that it just is different than you would normally experience, and that is part of the journey. What's important to know is that it will always get back to the way it is now. So you won't be forever in that state. Okay. That will be, it's good to say that to yourself when it's a little bit intense, because the ego, if it's there, can say, oh no, now you fucked up. Yeah, you're going to be in this state forever. This was a bad choice to drink. And it can be very negative, but you are behind that. There's that consciousness behind the ego that can say, okay, yes, voice, it's okay, you are there, but don't take it too serious in the journey. So that is the first part, that your senses can change and that you feel a lot. With that feeling also comes that you can feel nausea, so that you have to throw up maybe. but I come to that part a little bit later. Then the second part that I explain is ayahuasca is also working on the emotions. So we are all emotional human beings. We all been through beautiful things in life, but we probably also been through sad things in life because we're emotional beings. And the ayahuasca can guide you through the whole spectrum of emotions. So it can be when you drink the ayahuasca, she's going to show you some things or let you feel things from the past or from now that bring up emotions. It can be that you are sad. So when you have those sad emotions, can feel like you have to cry, and then it's always good to not to suppress those emotions. So if you feel sad or lonely and you have to cry, then it's good to cry. On the other scale of the emotions can be that you're very happy and full of love and full of joy, then it's also good to laugh. Yeah. So the whole spectrum of emotions can be there, and when you accept it and go through it, they will pass. It can be sometimes that it's very loud, that you have to cry very loud sometimes, or that you cannot stop laughing. That also happens. Then it can be that I will try to, get you a little bit back, but you can let everything happen that has to happen. So that's the second part, that it can be very emotional. And that's good, because things are stored up in your system so long, sometimes you don't even know it. And when they come up in the ayahuasca, you can really go through it and release it back to the universe. You give it back where it belongs.
Hope so.
You don't always have to keep carrying those things that you are carrying your whole lifetime, or from the experience that maybe been intense. You store it, and it's good to release. And ayahuasca is a powerful medicine to give that back. Then the third way she can communicate with you is through visual aspects. So it can be with your eyes open and with your eyes closed, that you will start seeing different kaleidoscopical moving patterns, or that you're going to see light bulbs moving, or that you are going to see, can be like a movie is playing in front of you that is very visual. Can be pictures she's showing you, can be like a cartoon, everything can be everything that you can imagine. It can be in that visual part. It can be very happy, it can be a little bit darker, it's a very broad way.
Whatever you need.
Whatever you need at that moment will come up. Yes, and most of the time when it's darkness or sadness, then people say, oh no, I don't want it, but it's coming up for you to experience that.
Okay.
And when you can accept it, then it will transform.
Go through it.
Yeah, just go through it. And when you resist things, then they start pushing back. So in the ayahuasca, yeah, it's of course the theory that I'm saying, but when you can accept, it will transform easier than when you push against it and say, no, I don't want it, and this is not what I came for, and why is it so hard now? Because it has to be at this moment. But when you accept it, it comes in a different aspect with it, and it will transform easier. Can be that you see a female figure, Mother Ayahuasca. She has different shapes in what she can present herself to you. Sometimes it's only the eyes, sometimes it's a beautiful woman. It can be any shape. She can talk to you, so it can be that another voice is talking to you. It can be that your higher self is communicating with you. It can also just be a monologue, you and yourself talking about things. But there can be an external voice, let's say so.
Maybe we met later on a coffee.
Who knows? Yeah, it can go any way. So that's a little bit the third part, that it can be very visual. Then you have also the way she can communicate with you, that it's only in your thinking, so that it's that you don't feel any physical sensations, that you don't feel emotional, that you do not see anything, no colors, no patterns, no nothing, just darkness. And then it's a little bit harder for people to understand, what is happening, because I'm not feeling anything, I'm not seeing anything, I'm not emotional, so what is happening? Ayahuasca is, at that moment, making your consciousness bigger. So it gives you the opportunity at that moment to have a helicopter view about a lot of things that maybe happened, or a lot of things that are playing now in your life, or maybe things you want to do in the future. But it gives you that helicopter view, so you can see maybe from a distant perspective, like, pooh, those things that I was doing in the past didn't bring me so much. Maybe it's time for me to change it. Now I see from that view that those things, yeah, so, or maybe the things you're doing now, patterns that you're in, or things that constantly repeat in your life, like relationships or some context, that you then see like, pooh, I'm always doing this. Why? Now I see why things are happening the way they happen, because you get that broader view, or you get those insights, and then it will only will happen most of all in your thinking part, and there in the part, the ego always is there. Some people it's very strong, and some people have not so much ego that wants to interfere with the journey, but it can always be there, and yeah, just allow it. Don't take it too serious, because it's in a way a part of you, and also belongs to you, but it would like to keep you a little bit in the dark of what's going on, because then, yeah, it doesn't have that control anymore. And then the fifth way is what ayahuasca does. It is going to clean your system. I always say body, mind, and soul, and that is for everybody. So the first 4 ways how she can communicate can be, but the ayahuasca is always going to clean your system. And that also happens by purging. In Amazon they also call ayahuasca ceremony the purge. So they drink the ayahuasca to clean themselves, to get all the garbage out.
And the pineal lens also
will be probably more activated than normal.
Yeah.
It can clean literally everything.
Okay.
It can be physical things that are bothering you, so that may be something in your knee or in your body, let go, but can be emotions that are stuck, can be anything. And when you drink the ayahuasca, if you feel nausea at one moment, and you maybe get a vision of something that happened or something that hurt you, it can be then you have to start throwing up, and then you will release that old energy by purging. We have a bucket next to the mattress, a box of tissues and some water. If you feel that you have to throw up, we always like it to use the bucket. It's a little bit less cleaning for us. And if you were laying down, and I always advise just to take the bucket and sit up. Then you prepare yourself a little bit for the purging of the bucket, and then throw up. And when it's out, then you can just put the bucket again beside you, and use a tissue and drink some water and continue your journey. But it can also be that the ayahuasca has to go through your system, so that you have to poop or to pee, that it comes out in the bottom. Also the same way, the toilet is very close. If you need it, I will help you through the toilet, because it can be that the ayahuasca makes you a little bit unstable. Some people cannot walk so good. It can be that everything is moving and that you're standing up and think, "Pooh,
yes.
I don't know what's going on there." But then I can always help you to the toilet. But some people, they do not have to purge, or they do not have to go to the toilet. It's also possible. What happens a lot is that people have to yawn a lot, so they are constantly like releasing, breathing, in that way letting go of tension. Or that you feel tears running down your face without really crying, but just feeling that your body is letting go. Nose blowing, a lot of snot can come out. Burping happens, a little bit farting. Maybe even in stretching out and in breathing, you can release those energies that do not serve you anymore. So it's not that you always have to purge. In that way, what can happen. It can also happen that you do have to purge and also have to go to the toilet, so that you're on the toilet with your bucket that is coming out upstairs and downstairs. Yeah, it's broad. You never know how it's going to go, but accepting what is always a very powerful way of going in your journey. So that's a little bit explanation on forehand what the journey can look like. So there's a little bit of the senses that can change, the visual aspect, the emotional part, the thinking part, and then the physical cleaning part. And I would like you to take this on your journey, but to leave everything behind in the expectation way, because you don't know how your journey is going to be. And when you have a big expectation, when you think, oh yeah, and I saw this video, then I'm going to fly through all these dimensions, and then I'm going to speak with Mother Ayahuasca, and then I'm going
to drink a coffee with her.
Yeah, and have all the answers and insight. Yes, it's definitely possible. But it can also be that today, for you, you are 3 hours on the toilet, cleaning your system, throwing up and sitting on the toilet, feeling not so nice at that moment, but then something comes into play. Then you're going to say to yourself, yeah, but this is not what it's supposed to be, because I saw on YouTube that hey, I'm going to see colors.
The ego.
The ego comes again, yeah. So just in the acceptance lies a lot. Yeah. And when you have like a blanco canvas, when your journey starts, then when you are blanco, you can start painting with the ayahuasca. When you already have the lines drawn, oh, this is going to happen, then I'm going to have that trauma solved, or then there's a big expectation, and when she starts painting different, then you get a little bit out of your expectation, and it is going to be what it is going to be.
You get what you want, and you get what you need and not what you want.
Not always what you want. Of course, an intention and a reason to do the ceremony can be very powerful. So if there are reasons or things, and in your journey you really focus on that, then she can really heal you on that part, or show you those things that you want. But sometimes it's not that, because the intention comes out of 5% consciousness, where you are working in now and thinking, oh, this happened and maybe this is going to happen, but the rest is subconscious. And it can be that a lot of things are there and that she first lets you see those things, but it's going to be, in a way, a surprise. So that's a little bit about the experience. What I already said, the key things to give you is acceptance and keep breathing. If you keep your breathing low and focus on that, then it will always also keep you calm. And when you just accept that what is, then there's no resistance, because resistance always pushes back. That's not what you give, it gives back, and what you let be will also let it be. Then a little bit about the way we do the ceremony here. First, I'm going to say a prayer before we're doing the ayahuasca. Then you are going to drink the first part of the ayahuasca with the MAO inhibitor. That will do its work for like 10 to 15 minutes. And in that time, then you have the opportunity to share your intention, or that what you would like to get out of the ceremony. Then we have a candle on the table that you can light to put some power to your intention if you have one. And after that, you will drink the second part of the ayahuasca, and then your journey will start within 10 to 30 minutes. That also depends on the person. We always serve 2 rounds of ayahuasca, so after 2.5 hours, 2 hours between the time, I will approach you and to see if you would like to drink another dose of ayahuasca. And what that does, it gives the ayahuasca more foundation to work with you. So it will probably make it a little bit stronger, and it can make your experience a little bit longer. But that's always up to you. When I ask for the second round, you are completely in your journey. Then it can be that you think, sure, Andy, yeah, it's nice, but I'm okay for now. I don't want to drink a second dose. I can understand that, because already 1 dose of ayahuasca can bring you a lot. But it can also be that already a little bit before the second round that you feel that the ayahuasca is working out a little bit, then you can always ask a little bit earlier also. Or if the second round is too early, an hour after the second round or a little bit later, you can also then still drink. Of course, I have a time schedule in what you can drink, because else we're going to be in the ceremony till tomorrow morning. But that's the choice is up to you. If you're not sure if you should take the second dose, then you can always ask Mother Ayahuasca. Just ask her, do I need another dose? And if you don't know sure, you can always ask me to see, if it's okay to drink. So a little bit about the rules that we have here, or the guidelines, is we always ask you to put out the telephone. You need to put it out, and also no calling during the ceremony, because you're in another state of being. It happens sometimes that people see things they maybe did to a friend or to their parents, and they really want to apologize.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But then, at that time in your journey, it's not the right time to start calling people and apologizing them, because it can be that you get really strange conversations when you are in your journey, and probably the people who know you have the ceremony are already concerned about you, and then when you start calling them and you see all the time dragons flying, I don't know, then it can worry a little bit more. So we always do that after the ceremony. And we can also not go outside, because once you drink the ayahuasca, you always have to be under supervision, and going outside is not safe. So we stay inside, and if you come here for the first time to drink ayahuasca, we always ask you to sign a declaration form, wherein you say that you know you're going to drink ayahuasca, that it has a psychoactive working, and that you did it out of free will. But the most important thing why we have that form is because the information we send you on forehand about medication or supplement.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, because it's a powerful medicine, and some medication have a very strong effect, a negative effect with the MAO inhibitor. So if you're on antidepressiva, or you're taking antibiotica or certain kind of medication, then it's not safe to drink ayahuasca. But if you took the diet and you did not take any supplements or medication, and your body is well prepared, then it's completely okay to drink the ayahuasca. But there is a responsibility for you guys at home to prepare, and once you're in your journey, and there is a responsibility for us, or for me, to take good care of you. So it's a combination of responsibility. When you know that you prepared good and you did not drink anything, or did not took any drugs, and you're clean, then it's safe.
Best experience.
Yeah. At least the safe experience.
At least the safe.
Yeah, because safety is the most important thing that we want to offer you here. We never had people that the doctor had to come here, or that we had to take somebody to the hospital, or that, it never happened in 7 years that Renee is doing this work. So that is because we take it very serious. We give that information, and when you prepare good, then nothing will go wrong in that way, and everybody can, after the ceremony, go home safe. And that's always the case. So, but it's just because we take it very serious. Everybody travels in their own way, so you're together, but it can be that one is out a little bit earlier than the other person. If one of you guys drinks a little bit more, it can be that he's longer in the journey. When you drink the ayahuasca, you feel that you go somewhere, you stay in that state for a while, and then slowly, like a leaf from a tree, you start falling down, everything starts calming down again, the body starts feeling maybe normal again, the visual stops, you start feeling a little bit hungry. Those are good indication that the medicine is working out and that you are coming down again. If you then do not drink extra ayahuasca, that will be the ending of your journey. And then you can decide for yourself when it's ready, when everything stops and you feel like, okay, I'm back, then you're back, and then I will make some fruit salad and some bread and some soup so you can get a little bit energy back, and then slowly, eventually both will be out, but I cannot tell you how long it will take or how it will go.
Yes.
Average, if you drink one time ayahuasca, you will be in your journey between 3 hours and 5 hours. If you drink 2 times, it can extend it and make it stronger, but it doesn't always have to be longer. For me, personally, it's always between 2 and 2.5 hours. But everybody's system reacts different, so there are also people that drink one time and they are 12 hours in their journey. So you cannot say on beforehand how long it's going to take. So
my first time was 8 hours.
It was 8 hours, yeah. On one time drinking?
2 times.
2 times, yeah. Yeah, that's...
But the second I have no 1 time and also 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah, and every time it is different in a way, because you are also every time not the same person. Every time things change, and every experience also in a way will probably be a little bit different. So yeah, of course I can talk for hours about ayahuasca and about the experience. I think in the broad lines you have the information that you can go on your journey with. Always know you cannot stay in the ayahuasca ceremony. Know that for yourself. And when you think, it's very intense, or I don't know what's going on, that can happen. And is it going to be okay? Yes, it's going to be okay. You will both get out of your journey, and you can also not take an overdose of ayahuasca. When it's intense, focus on your breathing, and if you need me in any way, then I'm there for you. We try from the outside to influence the process as less as possible. So when you're very sad or crying, I will not immediately comfort you or give you a hug, because you're in a very, very special process with Mother Ayahuasca, with the plant medicine. And I would not want to disturb that.
Yes.
I cannot always see inside what is going on. But if you need me in whatever way, you only have to ask me, and then I will be there for you. If not, I will just be sending in a lot of love and being watching over you.
Hey Leute, ich grüße euch. Ich bin wieder gelandet und ich habe neben mir den René sitzen. Der René ist der Gründer von der Om-Mij-Anlage. Ich habe es falsch ausgesprochen, es heißt Om-Mij und nicht Om-Mij. Ja?
Stimmt, Om-Mij oder Om-Mij.
Om-Mij, okay. Ja, der René wird mir jetzt ein paar Fragen beantworten. Die erste Frage ist, wie bist du auf Ayahuasca gekommen?
Ja, ich denke so ungefähr wie die meisten Leute. Ich habe sehr lange Periode in meinem Leben mich nicht so wohl gefühlt. Ich habe viel zu tun gehabt mit Negativität und so negativen Gedankenmustern. Depressionen leicht habe ich gehabt und mich immer so Sorgen machen. Und irgendwie war ich sehr blockiert in meinem Leben. Ich habe eigentlich sehr glückliche Jugend gehabt, keine heftige Sachen oder so, aber trotzdem irgendwo war das ohne Grund. Ich wusste nicht, woher das kam, aber ich war fest und blockiert. Und dann habe ich viel gelesen über ein Gehirn, wie man das umstellen kann. Habe ich NLP gemacht und ich habe so Meditation gemacht. Und, aber das hat ein bisschen geholfen und hat lange gedauert. Und dann auf einmal bin ich auf Ayahuasca gestoßen und habe ich sofort diesen innerlichen Ruf gehört und dachte, das muss ich unbedingt mal versuchen. Und jetzt sind wir hier.
Also hast du quasi daraus deine Leidenschaft entwickelt, kann man sagen.
Ja, stimmt. So, nach meiner ersten Erfahrung, das war auch in Holland, weil in Holland gibt es Ayahuasca über 30 Jahre. Und diese erste Erfahrung hat mich so viel gebracht, das war einfach,
Überwältigend.
Überwältigend. Ja. Das war alles, was ich hatte, so von negativ, war ein positiv, so diesen Erwachungserfahrung habe ich bekommen, diese Spiritual Awakening. Ja. Und ja, alles war, nach ein paar Stunden war alles anders, alles wie ich dachte, und das war unvorstellbar. Ja. Und dann dachte ich, okay, ich habe nicht sofort diesen, dass ich da dachte, okay, das wird meine Arbeit oder so, gar nicht, aber ich wusste, ich muss da irgendwas mit helfen, Leute mit helfen und so ist es eigentlich mehr oder weniger angefangen.
Ja, wenn es dir hilft, dann gibt es da draußen auch jemand anderen, den das auch helfen kann.
Genau, stimmt. Ja. Und natürlich nach dieser Erfahrung, dann ist man so überwältigend und alles gelesen, gemacht, jede Zeremonien gemacht mit Schamanen, bei religiösen, so alternativ, alles möglich ist und dann man lernt einfach mehr Leute kennen, sieht, wie Leute sich verändern und es ist unvorstellbar.
Eine sehr schöne Geschichte.
Ja, stimmt.
Gibt es einen Unterschied zwischen dem Ayahuasca hier und dem im Amazonas?
Der Unterschied zum ersten der Ayahuasca, für mich Ayahuasca ist ein Bewusstsein und dieses Bewusstsein kann man durch verschiedene Pflanzen erreichen. Sowieso, wenn man fragt über Ayahuasca oder was man sagt, der echte Ayahuasca, ich glaube in der Dschungel gibt es so einen Streit über hunderte von Jahren, wer hat der richtige Ayahuasca, weil in der Dschungel mache ich auch noch verschiedene Arten von Pflanzen da drin. Was ich gemacht habe, oder wo ich mitarbeite, ist, das sind verschiedene Pflanzen, wo man Ayahuasca von machen kann. Und ich habe jede Zusammenstellung habe ich gemacht, gekocht und auch mit Gruppen mitgearbeitet. Und für das heilende therapeutische Aspekt ist der Ayahuasca, was wir jetzt nutzen, nach meiner Erfahrung, nach meiner Meinung nach am meisten
das effektivste
Potenz. Und der ist von Pflanzenzusammenstellung nicht sofort die gleiche, die Schamanen nutzen. Ein Pflanz schon, der kommt auch aus dem Amazonas und von der anderen Pflanze sind Samen. Und, aber die sind einen sehr potenzreichen Erfahrung, so wie du merkst.
Ich komme gerade aus der Erfahrung raus und ich bin immer noch vollkommen überwältigt. Ich habe vergessen, wie mächtig Ayahuasca ist. Man vergisst das so mit der Zeit, aber dann, wenn man wieder drin ist, schon heftig, was sie zeigen kann. Nächste Frage. Für wen ist Ayahuasca etwas? Was bekommt ein Mensch, wenn er hier hinkommt? Beziehungsweise wenn er sich dafür entscheidet?
Für wen Ayahuasca ist, für mich ist immer wichtig, wenn man diesen Ruf spürt, so, wenn man darüber hört, über dieses Video oder nachrecherchiert oder liest oder irgendwas und wenn man das Gefühl hat, ich soll es auch probieren, das ist eigentlich sehr gut. Ayahuasca ist für Leute, die sich gerne weiterentwickeln, die auf tieferen Ebenen nach ihr selbst sich anschauen will, sich selbst von anderer Perspektive nach ihren, ich würde nicht sofort immer Probleme sagen, aber nach deiner Blockaden gucken, die Blockaden auflösen können, aber auch für Bewusstseinserweiterung und spirituelle Wachstum.
Ja, das ist interessant. Ja, und die letzte Frage betrifft die deutschen Zeremonien. Du hast ja erwähnt, dass du da was planen möchtest. Vielleicht kannst du da mal ein bisschen drauf eingehen.
Ja, stimmt. Wir machen das hier seit Jahren und was wir sehen, da kommen so Leute von über der ganzen Welt und europaweit natürlich auch. Und wir sehen, dass Gott sei Dank kommen auch immer mehr Deutsche und Deutschsprachige, so auch aus Österreich, teilweise der Schweiz und auch kleine Teil von Belgien. Und Ja, was eigentlich mal schön ist, dass wir so was kleinere Gruppen zusammenstellen, aber nur auf Deutsch. Was jetzt oft passiert, ist, dass wir es auf Englisch machen, weil die Gruppen sind immer international. Und jetzt wollen wir so was Kleines machen, aber dann nur auf Deutsch, wo wir auch zum Beispiel deutsche Nachhilfe haben und versorgen und voraus, wo man alles auf Deutsch sich unterhalten kann, weil nicht jeder ist leicht auf Englisch und deswegen möchten wir das eigentlich gerne, auch für die Deutschen, gerne vorgeben. Ja,
okay. Hast du da schon irgendwie ein Datum, ab wann das so möglich ist?
Wir versuchen, mein Ziel ist irgendwo ab Mai. Natürlich kann man sowieso hier bei Om-Mij natürlich auch auf Deutsch, aber das wird dann auch Englisch sein. Diese speziell für deutsche Gruppe wird auf eine andere Location geben. Und, irgendwie ab Mai ist das ist in der Planung.
Sehr schön. Ja, ich freue mich schon drauf.
Ich auch.
Ja, das waren schon meine Fragen. Ich bedanke mich bei dir, dass du sie alle so schön beantwortet hast.
Ich bedanke mich.
Und ja, ich bedanke mich auch fürs Zusehen. Und wie gesagt, wenn ihr euch gerufen fühlt, dann könnt ihr das jederzeit machen. Ja. Alles klar. Bis dann.
Danke. Tschüss.